Picture this. Your team is up by 2 points with about 5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Indiana Pacers inbounded to Tyrese Halliburton, and he does some weird crab dribbles and hits the most looking deep three to win the game. This would get you pretty mad, huh? Well, what if I told you you didn't have to imagine this at all? Neither does the rest of the NBA. The Indiana Pacers have sent a shockwave towards the entire league. They've made it pretty clear that they're not a team to be taken lightly in the foreseeable future. Gone are the days of the Pacers getting knocked out in the first round year after year, or even worse, not even making the playoffs at all. They're simply built different now. Indiana has completed 5 playoff series in the Tyrese Halliburton era. The Pacers have won 4 out of these 5. And of these 4 series wins, do you know how many of them the Pacers had the home court advantage on? Only 1 of them. I think it's no secret that Indiana has been massively overachieving in the postseason in the Halliburton era. And spoiler alert, they don't look like they're going to stop anytime soon.
Did you see the anonymous player poll that came out today?
I did.
What was your reaction to that? And
Not too worried about that. I know I am. I'm confident in my own skin and not worried about, what anybody thinks. My teammates trust me.
And the other guys on the list were Jimmy Butler and Giannis. This is a bullshit poll.
Yeah, overrate that.
Double pumps a 3 and hit it. Oh my! Here we go.
Oh yeah, Diamond. Pass. What a dime. Pass. What a pass. No look pass.
Up and through. Halliburton throws it down. And he knew that one was going down.
Halliburton dribble back. Fall away. Off shot.
Halliburton.
That's good. He's able to step back in the.
Step back 3. Halliburton.
Now, the Indiana Pacers weren't always beating your favorite team in the Eastern Conference. This group of postseason killers had to develop. Tyrese Halliburton was drafted by the Sacramento Kings as the 12th overall pick in the 2020 draft. His rookie year was an overall success, averaging 13 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and a little over a steal a game, while having shooting splits that some Hall of Famers couldn't even reach. Tyrese Halliburton was already looking scary in year 1. The potential of one of the league's best passers was clearly there, but then the Sacramento Kings fumbled the bag next season.
We welcome you back with breaking news from the NBA as the trade deadline approaches. The Indiana Pacers continue to make moves, trading Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, and Jeremy Lamb to the Sacramento Kings for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson.
Near the trade deadline of 2022, the Indiana Pacers traded Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, Domantas Sabonis, and a draft pick for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. This was a risky move at the time. Almost stupid. The Indiana Pacers were giving up their multiple-time All-Star big man, who came off his best season yet, averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 6.7 assists, and he was only 25 years old at the time. However, this trade was justified because the fit between Sabonis and Miles Turner was flat out painful to watch, keeping them in a state of mediocrity. It was clear that one of them needed to go. The Sacramento Kings were also dealing with a very similar struggle. The fit between De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton clearly wasn't working, and one of the two needed to go. The Kings wanted to win now, so they got an already proven star in Domantas Sabonis, while the Pacers, on the other hand, they were taking a gamble on their future, trading away the already starred big man for a raw 21-year-old point guard. Indiana was putting all their chips at the table, and boy did it pay off. The rest of the 2022 and then the 2023 season for the Pacers was pretty forgettable. Indy failed to make the playoffs either years with back-to-back losing records. However, something that wasn't forgettable was Tyrese Halliburton during this stretch. In 2023, Hallie made his first All-Star appearance while upping his production to 20 and 10 a night while nearly cracking a 50-40-90 season. While the records didn't quite show it, Indiana was starting to move in the right direction. They were looking deadly. The 2024 season for Indy marks the switch of an era. They were done being laughed at as the team stuck in mediocrity, and there was no better way to start this off than to make an absolute statement in the NBA's new in-season tournament.
court with the blue runway. Halliburton for three. It's perfect. Tyrese Halliburton in his last 5 games coming in 20 of 40 from three-point range. Yes, that is 50%.
Launching and hitting another three. Pacers clinging to a 5-point lead. Halliburton tries another three. Bang! Tyrese Halliburton from downtown.
The Pacers' first matchup and pool play was against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Cleveland didn't make it easy. Donovan Mitchell dropped a ridiculous 38 points on 61% shooting, but Cleveland was able to weather off the storm with 18 and 13 from Tyrese Halliburton and 27 and 9 from Miles Turner. The Pacers won 121 to 116 and are now 1-0 in pool play. Game 2 of pool play, the Pacers didn't catch any breaks. They were going up against the reigning league MVP in Joel Embiid and the rest of the red-hot 76ers. Embiid gave the Pacers 39, 12, and 6, but it wasn't quite enough. Halliburton had a ridiculous 33 points, 15 assists, and 0 turnovers, while Obi Toppin reigned in a dangerous 27 points and 80% shooting. The Pacers claimed another slim victory, and they were 2-0 in pool play. Game 3 was the game to watch if you like offense. Yes, you're reading this right. Both of these teams combined for over 300 points this game. Trae Young did all that he could to save the Hawks, putting up 38 and 8 while shooting 76% from the field. But Halliburton, he's been loving this in-season tournament, clearly. He put up a ludicrous 37 points, 16 assists, and 3 steals and 61% shooting. Indy was now 3-0 in pool play. In their final pool play game, the Pacers caught a break, playing against the Detroit Pistons, where they cruised to a pretty easy win. With all these 4 wins the Pacers got, they clinched the 2 seed in the tournament, only behind Milwaukee, and they were looking to put themselves on the map. The Pacers' first matchup would really test to see what this team was made of, because in round 1, it was against none other than the Boston Celtics, who were clearly the best team in the league so far. The Celtics asserted their dominance by taking a 7-point lead at half. However, the Pacers didn't give a damn how good the Celtics' record was. They struck back in the second half and took this game 122 to 112. The league was officially on notice of the Indiana Pacers being the best team in basketball by double digits in a competitive tournament. They were no joke, but their next battle was going to be another test for this unit. They were going up against Giannis, Dame, and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Pacers took a commanding 12-point lead in the first half. However, the Bucks followed it up with a monster 43-point third quarter to take the lead. The game was close for the entirety of the fourth quarter until Tyrese Halliburton put the dagger in Milwaukee.
Under a minute remaining. Pacers clinging to a 5-point lead. Halliburton tries another three. Bang! Tyrese Halliburton from downtown. Timeout Bucks. It's an 8-point lead.
Tyrese Halliburton hit this clutch 3 and taunted Milwaukee by doing the Dame Time celebration. It was the ultimate disrespect, but the Pacers were moving on to the tournament final. The Pacers' run had finally came to an end. You can beat Tatum, you can beat Giannis, you can even taunt Damian Lillard, but just remember who still has your number, Indiana.
James, clear path to the basket, lays it up and in.
It's incredible because if he gets below the free throw line, there's savvy, there's skill, there's strength, there's just so much experience.
Can move inside, bank shot is good. Rebound, back up and off.
3 seconds left, Cleveland triggers in. James, 2 seconds, 1 second for the win. LeBron James delivers.
Cartier gets it in.
James on the drive.
Indiana had to humble the Pacers and give them an ass whooping in the tournament final. Despite the Pacers not walking away with the trophy, this was only steps in the right direction and green flags for the squad. Lessons learned that they would apply to the actual thing. Fast forward about 5 months into the future, and it's time for the actual NBA postseason. The Pacers were now even better, getting Pascal Siakam in a trade with the Raptors. Was the in-season tournament a preview for what we're going to see in the postseason, or was the in-season tournament meaningless? Well, one thing's for certain though, when Tyrese Haliburton sees dark green, his killer instinct lights up like a shark in bloody water.
And he's going to step back and shoot a three and hit it. Haliburton to the basket and dunks it.
Topping on the break. Got it to fall. 6 seconds to go. Crosses over on Beverly. Float game for the win. Tyrese.
Without Giannis Antetokounmpo, it was up to Dame to lead the Bucks to the second round, but the Pacers already bought the Bucks flight tickets to Cancun in May. Despite Damian Lillard lighting up the Pacers in Game 1, Indiana took control of the series from there, winning 3 straight games to make the series 3-1. The Bucks won a pity Game 5 at home, but then the Pacers ended it at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indiana. The Pacers took this series 4-2, and it was time to make some noise in the Big Apple.
As we get set for game 4.
He'll hoist that rainbow from the left edge. Indiana in front, 5-2.
Picking up right where he left off. Neesmith to Haliburton, another wide open three-pointer. He is found the range. Pass stolen by McConnell, saw it coming. Beautiful feet ahead to Haliburton.
New York wasn't going to be as easy as Milwaukee though. The Pacers dropped 2 close games to the Knicks at first. Haliburton looked stale to open up the second round, while Jalen Brunson, he was playing like a 6'2 Michael Jordan. Indiana made it a series though. They came back with their own 2 wins at home to tie it up. Tyrese Haliburton was looking like his old self again, while Jalen Brunson's magic wore off as soon as he entered Indiana. Back at New York though, in Game 5, Jalen Brunson erupted for a monstrous 44-point game to clinch the Knicks a 30-point win and take a lead in the series 3-2. The Pacers' backs were against the wall and they had to respond. The Pacers secured a Game 6 win at home, 116-103. Pascal Siakam dropped 25 and 7 to keep Indy afloat. In Game 7, the Knicks attempted to put a roster together with all their injuries. The Pacers took advantage of this and shocked everyone in the Big Apple, winning by 21 points in a hostile Game 7, proving that this team was built for the postseason. However, Indy's greatest challenge was still awaiting them.
Tatum, step back, puts up another three. Back of the room won't go. Holland in the offensive rebound. Now the Pacers have to foul. Brown has it. Final seconds. That's it. It's over. The Celtics are heading back to the NBA Finals. And another crushing finish for these Indiana Pacers.
Just like the in-season tournament, the Pacers' Cinderella magic had to stop at some point. The Boston Celtics were on a mission in 2024, and there was no one on the Pacers that was getting in the way of the Celtics championship. Boston swept Indiana in a forgettable 4-game series. Despite the Pacers not winning at all, the steps they had taken as a group this year were paramount, and it was really unexpected by most. But it wasn't quite over for the Pacers. They'd be back here. And just like that, we're back. It's 2025 and the Pacers, for the first time since the Paul George days in Indiana, locked down a 50-win regular season where they had home court advantage in the first round. And who better to start it off against than Indiana's old foe? It was time for Haliburton to cook up some deer meat once again.
And ahead now to Siakam and the dunk. The alley-oop it, and Toppin throws it down.
Haliburton with Lillard in his face. Answers.
And he has something to say to him too.
Another Milwaukee turnover. Lay-in by Mathurin. Against Giannis. Haliburton.
Got it,
3 seconds.
got
Puts
it,
it in.
got it.
He put it in. 1 3/10.
It's Pacers versus Bucks for about their 20th matchup in the last 2 years, but things were different in this postseason. The Greek Freak was finally back, playing his first healthy postseason since 2022. Yeah, it's been pretty bad luck for Giannis, but the Indiana Pacers didn't give a damn, because they gave the Bucks back-to-back ass whoopings in games 1 and 2 at home. Giannis was looking unstoppable, putting up Shaq-like numbers, but it didn't matter. because the Bucks couldn't stop the Pacers on defense to save their lives. Milwaukee then took a Game 3 win at home, where Giannis and Gary Trent combined for a whopping 74 points. It was crazy. But the Pacers reminded the Bucks who's daddy in Game 4, taking a commanding 129-103 win at the Fiserv Forum to give Indy a 3-1 series lead. However, the Bucks weren't going down without a fight in Game 5. This game was neck and neck for pretty much the entire time. Neither team was taking a lead at the end. With seconds left of this do-or-go-home game for Milwaukee, Giannis had a chance to ice the game.
Turner on Giannis. Giannis backing in. Spinning. Jumper doesn't go.
Brick. We're going into overtime. Milwaukee was lighting up the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in OT. The Bucks found themselves with a 118-111 lead with 40 seconds to go. The Bucks' odds to win this game were at 97%, but like the theme of this video, the Pacers didn't give a With about 35 seconds, Andrew Nembhard pulls up from Steph Curry range with 18 seconds still left on the shot clock.
Point lead. Nembhard with a three. Good.
But it's butter. The Bucks inbound the ball and it gets immediately stolen.
Gary showed up. The steal.
Then Tyrese Halliburton, with 20 seconds left, gets a three-pointer the old-fashioned way.
In the building. Halliburton attacking. And the foul.
The Bucks inbounded again, and were immediately reminded why Gary Trent never played football.
To Green, Trent with it, and he loses it on a brilliant night.
Now there's 10 seconds left, and the Pacers, by God's glory, somehow found a way to potentially win this game. With the time winding down, Halliburton had something cooking on the menu, and it happened to be buck filet.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, Halliburton for the lead. Whoa. Here's Gary Trent Jr. Lets it fly. And the Pacers are moving on.
And just like that, the Pacers stole this game and probably ended Giannis' time in Milwaukee. However, the Pacers weren't done breaking hearts yet though, because they had another juggernaut season to ruin.
Scores over Siakam.
Siakam, it's a three and hits.
Cross court to the far sideline. This is Nembhard delivering.
In that clincher against Milwaukee. Look at that stick back. Naismith.
The Pacers have a timeout. Will they use it? 4 seconds to go. Halliburton for three. Three ball.
You have got to be kidding me.
Indiana wasn't done terrorizing the league yet. They had their eyes set on Cleveland. And in Game 1, Indiana made a statement to the rest of the league. They grabbed an early 11-point lead in the first quarter and never let it go, winning 121-112 on the road. And Game 2 is a very similar story. In Game 2, the Cavs took a dominant 17-point lead in the first quarter, but the Pacers eventually clawed their way back. The Pacers found themselves down 112-119 with 57 seconds left. According to ChatGPT, the odds of the Cavs winning this game were about 99.17%. So the Pacers had less than a 1% chance of coming back in this game. But Indiana didn't care about those numbers. Pascal Siakam finds himself at the free throw line, where he missed both shots, but Aaron Naismith got the rebound and put up this insane putback dunk. If Aaron Naismith wasn't doing enough, he then took a charge 5 seconds after that dunk, giving the Pacers the ball back.
This is all you want in the NBA playoffs. 47 seconds, contact, Mitchell and Naismith, offensive.
Halliburton then gets blocked on this layup attempt, but the Pacers get the ball back where Pascal Siakam hits this clutch layup.
On the wing, Siakam attacks and lays it in.
And then the Pacers tap into their dark magic where Andrew Nembhard gets a steal on the inbound and Tyrese Halliburton gets fouled.
Halliburton sizes up Jerome, and here he comes to the cup, contact, and Halliburton is going to shoot free throws.
His first free throw was good, and on the second one, the Pacers somehow got another rebound.
Much better job of getting open.
Misses Halliburton.
And oh yeah, remember the intro to the video? Picture this, your team is up by 2 points with about 5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Indiana Pacers inbounded to Tyrese Halliburton, and he does some weird ass crab dribbles and hits the most bullshit looking deep three to win the game. This would get you pretty mad, huh? That's exactly what's happening right here. The Pacers somehow steal another road victory against the best team in the East, and this momentum only carried throughout the series. The Pacers dropped Game 3 at home, but they came back with an absolute smoke show in Game 4. I mean, it wasn't even close. This game was over by the second quarter. With all the momentum on their side, the Pacers stole Game 5 in Cleveland, 114-105. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who won 64 regular season games and were hyped up as an A1 championship contender, dropped like dead flies to a bit of adversity. And just like that, the Pacers found themselves right back in the conference finals again. While the Indiana Pacers haven't won a championship or in-season tournament yet, their underdog heroics during the Tyrese Haliburton era have been unreal to watch. From upsetting all of the best teams in the league, to making the most unimaginable plays in the clutch, to dropping never-ending buckets on anyone who tries to stop them, the sky's the limit for what the Pacers can achieve. And hey, what's stopping them from going all the way this year?